Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. We have a wide variety of subjects we're going to cover here this morning on this show. A little bit later in the program, we're going to talk with a local author who has written her first book. It's called Parade of Shades, and it's probably not about what you think it's about. Also coming up, the 10th anniversary of the Shine Awards, an opportunity to celebrate our young people throughout the area. But we begin with a new initiative, a leadership initiative, if you will. Here to talk about it, three individuals, three perspectives. Evan Frazier is the founding director of the Advanced Leadership Initiative, but we kind of know Evan a little bit better in his role as SVP of Community Affairs of Highmark.
Right.
Maria Taylor is the executive director of the Executive Education Program at CMU's at Tepper School of Business, and you're the academic partner. Your program is the academic partner, correct?
Yes.
And Greg Spencer, who is the advisory board co-chair of the Advanced Leadership Initiative. He's also the president and CEO of Randall Industries. Welcome to you all.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Glad I got all that out of the way. Now I can be done with that. Yeah. So Evan, I introduced you as the founding director. What is the Advanced Leadership Initiative?
So the Advanced Leadership Initiative is an effort to really increase and improve diversity in our region by focusing on how do we build the pipeline for African American executive leadership. So it's really focused on how do we invest in diverse talent to create greater opportunities for diverse leadership in our region. So that's really what it's about when you boil it down.
Now that to me seems significant in that often when people talk about Pittsburgh,
right,
the lack of diversity on the executive level is one of the things people say is wrong with our area.
That's exactly right, and that's really one of the things we're mainly focused on addressing, and we believe that there's a real opportunity to do it by investing in people and investing in raising the visibility. There's already a number of talented people already here. The question is, are we investing in those folks in the right way, and are those individuals connected to companies in senior leadership roles being tracked in the right way? And so we believe that through our signature initiative called the Executive Leadership Academy, which is where we have Carnegie Mellon University, Tepper School of Business as our primary, as a real educational partner for this initiative. We believe that we can help to build the pipeline by putting investing in 20 to 25, high potential African Americans every year. Every year.
So you have this swell of people.
That's exactly right.
Maria, let me then make that segue to you, because if we're talking about this academy, this Executive Leadership Academy, what does that mean? Am I a CMU student? Am I someone working in the Pittsburgh area?
Well, as Evan said, we'll work with 25 leaders, executive leaders with at least 10 years of experience.
Okay.
And we'll put them through an 8-month program that includes important strategic thinking and analytics education, as well as education on how to overcome unconscious bias, how to create a diverse workplace, and then more importantly, we'll have individual leadership coaching as well as professional sponsorship. So we're really trying to create a base and a platform for these leaders to succeed in the Pittsburgh area.
And the Pittsburgh area. So Greg, this is a commitment.
It is.
There's also a financial commitment to this. Is Corporate Pittsburgh behind this? Put those pieces together for me.
We have some outstanding presenting sponsors.
Okay.
That include UPMC, Highmark, EQT, and BNY Mellon. PNC, excuse me.
Okay.
To the point raised about how many African Americans we have in the C-suite, we've actually gone back, Lynn, from where we were in 2001 to today. And there's less than 1%, the study is done, it's recognized there's less than 1% African American in executive C-suite positions here in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
2001, there were people like Jim Diggs, Victor Roque, myself.
Right.
We all decided to either retire or do something different. And so, unfortunately, we weren't replaced by someone that looked like us.
That pipeline wasn't there, and
Pipeline
that's where this comes in.
That's exactly right.
So how do you apply? When does that happen? Talk me through that process.
So the application process is open right now.
Right now,
online
okay.
through our website,
Okay.
advancedleadershipinitiative.org.
Okay.
People can apply online. It's also structured in a way that people will engage their companies to invest in them, to participate in this Executive
okay.
Leadership Academy. Classes will start January 2019.
Okay.
So it's, I believe, open enrollment from now up until beginning of October.
But there are so many slots.
20 to 25
So folks
is,
don't want to wait till the end of
that's
September
exactly
to
right.
decide
That's exactly
to
right.
do this.
That's exactly right.
Right.
And I should say, overwhelmingly, it's focused on the corporate, the corporate arena, companies in the corporate sector. But there are going to be a number of spots, limited number of spots for the nonprofit executive leaders, as well as for those in the public sector.
Okay.
But the overwhelming focus is on corporate Pittsburgh.
And I don't want to run out of time. Maria, give me an idea, the academy. So are we talking about, is it structured around an existing work day, or do you fit it in? How's that going to work?
It will be Fridays and Saturdays once a month for 8 months.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
so
that's
people-
very doable.
Very doable.
That's very doable. And Greg, at the end of the day, this entire area stands to benefit on so many levels, because not only do we build that pipeline, the more we have a pipeline, the more they're likely to stay. And from what I hear from young people, then maybe they'll have a social life.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You know, companies benefit from having a diverse workforce, particularly in the C-suite, because frankly, it talks about how to view things differently. It's innovation, right?
Right.
And so as companies are stronger, you're right, there'll be more opportunities, and the whole region will benefit from something like this. So we're looking forward to that.
And I think the other component, and I know they told me to wrap it, I want to follow up on this. The company is now committed if, in fact, they see an employee with potential and are willing to support them through the academy.
Exactly.
Okay.
So one added benefit, of course, is that the companies are making that investment, and we all win, right? Even though those presenting sponsors are there, the RK Mellon is a big supporter. So everyone is pulling together to make this happen, because he's a benefit of a strong, diverse workforce, particularly at the executive suite.
Thanks so much for joining us. Exciting
Thanks for having us.
information. And you know, if you've been feeling like you hit that glass ceiling, this may be something that gives you just the tools you need to crack that ceiling. We'll take a commercial break. We have a lot more to do when the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show continues. Don't go away.